really a great opportunity. I was quite frankly having a good time learning and taking in all of the, what I call, or my son calls, the gee whiz cool things that's going on in the ICT sector. And it's amazing that that type of innovation is occurring without structure, and these programs are, new services are actually occurring in the general marketplace. And what we are seeing in terms of moving forward, it can be whether, how do we get the next billion of people online? How do we get the next institutions online, broadband deployment? And in my perspective, it's both deployment and utilization. And there's three key areas that, you know, I've kind of categorized ICT sustainable deployment. You know, one is on investment. Physical investment, infrastructure, capacity building. Second is creating an environment for innovation. You know, how do you have the next two guys in a garage or two ladies in a garage come out with the new company that just immediately goes from the garage to the community, to the city, to global? What are the factors involved in that? How do we see that occurring? And then finally, as part of that, integration. So the three I's, as we like to call them, and I'll actually cite in taking a little bit of liberty from APEC with the Digital Prosperity Checklist, but the three I's that are key, I think, are investment, innovation, and integration. Now, as I kind of traveled the world in Asia, it seems that every country or every economy wants to have the next data center. They want to be the next cloud computing center. And I kind of scratch my head, and I wonder, well, if every country has a data center, if every country specializes in one area, then do we lose the benefit of cross-border data flow and, you know, as my professor called it, economies of scale and economies of agglomeration? You know, instead of focusing maybe on building those infrastructures in place, what are the policies that would encourage efficient deployment of data centers and utilization of those data centers across borders? You know, cloud computing seems to be getting a lot of buzz, a lot of good buzz. I mean, it's an opportunity where you can have specialization and you take what are historic IT functions from a company or even a home, have a trusted provider, and put them in the cloud. Well, from that, you can actually have energy savings. It addresses some of the sustainability questions because now you can cool one data center instead of thousands of data centers. So you have electric cooling use. You also have the opportunity to have on-demand processing so that if you need 10 gigabits of storage, or I guess everybody in this room is probably more like terabytes. If you need 10 terabytes for a short time, say a government procurement or going through the census, you could actually contract that out, have that in the cloud from a service provider without having to go through the capital expenditure, buying all the equipment, storing it in your site, and then maintaining it. So it really creates some benefits. But in order for that to occur, you know, globally, and I think we all need to think globally, how does that data transfer from one country or economy in APEC speak to another? What are the legal and regulatory issues that need to be addressed? You know, some of the ones that, you know, we've identified initially, privacy and security. If one country has a privacy policy that says that all personal data has to be destroyed or deleted within 2 years, but yet another country has a security policy that says all data has to be maintained for 5 years for national security. If you're the provider, you're kind of caught in the middle. So are you now put in a position so that data only stays in the country to meet the privacy requirements, and the data in the other country stays there to meet the security requirements? Now you've lost some efficiencies from transferring the data from one side to another. We met with the APEC TEL ministers recently, and we put this issue on the table, and it's a great opportunity to have some type of mutual recognition program We have the MRAs for the, sorry, in telecom speak, but the mutual recognition requirements for handheld mobile phones. Why not have a similar type of recognition policy for cloud computing? Is this an opportunity for the G20 to have a statement to address these type of issues?